Welcome to Apricot Cottage Studio. Today we're going to talk about Sparkle of the Season stamp and die set, and this is available in the mini catalog, the July to December 2021, and it's basically the holiday catalog, and it is on page 58, and I thought this was a very versatile set, so I'm going to show you some many cards that I've made with it and give you a chance to see one being made. Don't forget there's also the Celebration catalog, which gives you some free items with every $60 that you purchase in Canadian. So we're going to talk about the Sparkle of the Season. It's got a stamp set, but it's also got a terrific die set. And I've repackaged mine to my storage unit, and it's got 3 different wreaths and then all kinds of accessories to go with it. So the first card that I made was simply using the stamp set, which has a wreath, and then it's got all little shapes. It's got bats, it's snowflakes, leaves, and stars. So this one I did snowflakes and embossed it with gold and then stamped silver. You won't be able to see, but there's also holographic snowflakes in there that make it sparkly. Placed it on a black background, or a gold background rather, and then I've stamped the saying, which is "May the sparkle of the season warm your heart and home," which is a very nice little saying. So there's the simplest one, which is just stamped and embossed. Then I did a Halloween one and used the wreath with the stars. And it also has some little dies for the bats, and it has one that I thought made a cute little witch's broom. This word, Halloween, is from the words die, the word wishes die, and it's got all the words for the different holidays. So I cut out Halloween, and I've used black foil for the word and the bats and the wreath, and then I glued a couple of little sequin stars on top of some of the stars to give it a little bit of bling. So that's a Happy Halloween card. Most of the cards I've used the background that my friend Cheryl embossed for me with the embossing folder, and it's the brick one, and she gave me a bunch of sheets, so I've used those for these cards. Thank you, Cheryl. So that's the Halloween card, and inside it says Happy Halloween, and I've stamped some more bats. Then I did a rustic version. So this is on the dark green, that's the in color, and I've done the beige with an embossing folder, and I've stamped the green leaves, or the pine cone leaves, and then die cut the wreath with the leaves, and then added the pine cones. And the die also comes with little berries. So it's a little strip like this that cuts out all the berries at once. So 2 passes with the berries, and I've got enough berries to decorate the wreath. And it also has a stamp that says Merry Christmas, which is a nice broad one. So there's a rustic Christmas card. And then I started having fun adding things to the wreath. So there is a pumpkin die cut, and it looks like this, just a small little pumpkin. So for this one, I die cut the wreath with the leaves, and then I added, there's a die cut with little leaves, so I cut those out of 2 different kinds of foil, copper and the rainbow one. And I've put the 2 pumpkins, overlap them, and then I put a lot of different accessories underneath. So the wreath does come with, it comes with this little sprig. Where is it now on my stamp set? Must be on the back. It comes with a little sprig, and it also comes with this little die cut that you can cut with sort of little berries. Again, I use the word from that word cutting for that's Thanksgiving, and the Sparkle for the Season stamp set has Thankful for You, so I've stamped that separate and pumped it up. I quite like that card. It's really pretty. Okay, so there's a Thanksgiving card. And then I wanted to see if I could use it in spring colors. So I've made it more feminine version. I've used the peacock foil that I had left over in my stash. And I cut the wreath out of brown espresso, and then I used some other dies for the little flowers, and found another die with a bow, and used those little flowers that made the witch's broom on this side. This one, I cut them out as flowers, so I colored them with markers in pink and green and glued them on. Then I die cut the leaves. I trimmed the leaves down a little bit because they were a bit big for the wreath. I have some underneath the wreath as well as over top. And then the word grateful is embossed from the Sparkle of the Season and matted with the pale green foil, which makes a pretty card. So this makes a more feminine version. And the card we're going to make today, I've taken the foil, and this is the champagne foil it's been discontinued, but I had a lot in my stash because it's so pretty. You could use silver, and I've put the foil underneath, and I've put the embossing folder that Cheryl made for me on top, and I've die cut 2 of the wreaths with the pine cones. These are the ones, and I see that I haven't quite poked it all out. There we go. So I'm going to layer those on my card. And this is a fairly simple design, but lots of variations with the designs and the colors. So there's my first wreath. And I'm going to layer it with a second wreath. This pine cone wreath is really pretty. And there's a space here with a small space, so I'm going to turn it so there's more fullness in my wreath. And then I'm going to add, I've cut out of champagne foil, the star wreath. I'm going to add that as well. So I'm going to layer all the wreaths. So you can go from simple to more elaborate. There's the foil. That might take a few minutes to dry. Then I've stamped May the Sparkle of the Season Warm Your Heart and Home. And I'm going to put that at the bottom. I've pumped it up with some foam squares. And I've added it a back of the champagne foil. I'll put that at the bottom. And then I've used the colored shimmer vellum, which is really, really pretty. It's got like a little sparkle to it. And I've cut out the poinsettias that are still available. So this is the poinsettia petals, and this was a set that was available last time. I really like it. I've used it a ton, so it's one I highly recommend. It's got the stamps, and then it's got dies that emboss as well as cut out. And what I like about this one, I do have other poinsettia dies, but this one has different sizes. So I've used the smallest one, and I've cut out several sheets of the vellum, and you can see that it's sparkly. I'm going to add that to my wreath. And then I've got a couple of the leaves, and they're so pretty because they get embossed as well as cut. So here's my one leaf, and I think I'll put another one there. Put that under the flower. And The poinsettia one also has these little sprigs. I think I'll trim those a bit so they're not quite as long. Add those. To give it some fullness. So the nice thing about this wreath is it's very versatile. You can use it for a lot of different seasons and take all your other dies and stamps and combine them with this one. So it's really a workhorse